Hi everyone, delonewolf here and welcome back to the Sunday recap, my weekly vlog where I talk a little bit about my last week in games. I'd say I'd had a pretty good week in EVE Online last week. I played around an average amount, and of course with the new event I've been hunting some of those drifter cruisers, especially for skins and things like that. In fact, one of the viewers gave me an awesome gift with probably most of his duplicate skins, which helped me a lot when it comes to grabbing all those 15th anniversary skins. Next to that, I also spent a decent amount of time on CC exploring the Abyss a little bit more. But at the moment I'm up to the tier 3 abyssal sites, which I think you can pretty comfortably do in a regularly Tech 2 fitted Tech 2 cruiser. So I think that is basically the progression that you can expect. There will always be outliers. One of the comments mentioned that a tier 1 actually went very close to destroying his Tech 1 ship. It can happen if you have really bad luck when it comes to all the RNG that can be involved in creating these sites. Then you can at some point get like real counters against your fit and against your ship 3 times in a row. It can happen. It will always be a little bit challenging, which in my opinion makes them pretty cool, because I would basically compare these to hardcore modes for games like Diablo or Path of Exile. So you're always at risk a little bit of losing the investment that you're putting into the ship that you're taking into the Abyss. And so as a result, I'm enjoying this quite a lot. I do think that tier 1 for Tech 1 is doable. Tier 2 for faction is definitely something that'll work very well as well. And then tier 3 I think can be farmed quite comfortably in a Tech 2 cruiser as well. Tier 4 and tier 5 we'll see. I basically am going to prepare some ships for that, probably use some modded modules as well, and we'll see how all of that works out. So a little bit more testing to do about the Abyss, and other than that, yeah, well, it looks pretty cool, and I'm looking forward to the expansion coming late May. Next up we have some World of Warcraft, and I think I've played a little bit less than average World of Warcraft. I am basically in maintenance mode at this point. I do my mysteries, I set my followers on new missions, and then from time to time I do a couple of battlegrounds with Phobo and Dagon. I may look into the bi-weekly challenge, stuff like time walking dungeons and things like that, but I really don't want to put too much effort into World of Warcraft anymore at this point, because I don't want to burn myself out before the expansion. And my shaman, I feel like he's pretty much ready. If the expansion would drop tomorrow, I'd be perfectly fine with continuing to play him. But of course, it does mean that I've got a couple of more months before the pre-patch and then before the expansion. What am I going to do then? Well, at first I was considering starting a warlock. It's something that I didn't think I want to do, start a second character, and in the end I decided against that, and instead I am focusing a bit more, especially in the second half of the week. I focus a little bit more in getting to know my shaman better and looking up changes that are coming for Battle for Azeroth. For instance, a really big change is something that I'm spamming continuously at the moment is Flame Shock, which puts a dot on targets and then can generate instant cost lava bursts. That is going to change to a 6-second cooldown. And so what I've been doing here is look for a build that basically uses as few as possible active abilities, keybind everything, and really get to work to get to know my shaman a little bit better. I think I'm already making progress with the keybinds and with using all of the abilities without needing to click, without needing to look too much for stuff that's happening. And as a result, I also put my Flame Shock on a different keybind that I won't use that often, because I don't think you want to spam that one anymore. It's going to be on a 6-second cooldown. It's going to be quite different in playstyle that way. Basically, from what I've read so far, is that Blizzard doesn't want you to try to emulate the Warlock gameplay as your shaman. They don't want you to just keep putting the dots on everything in order to generate instant lava bursts. And so as a result, that's a big change that is definitely going to change the feel of the class. But other than that, things seem to be in line with what I'm expecting here. So right now I'm working a little bit on basically mastering the elemental shaman. After that, if there is still time, I might go into taking a closer look at the restoration shaman as well, which I haven't done too much of, but is basically going to be my alternative spec in Battle for Azeroth. And for my final game, I only managed to play 3 games last week. It's a bit more Hearthstone, so the Witchwoods came out and I've been playing that a little bit in the solo dungeon. So you've got 4 very interesting classes. In my opinion, all of them are fun, but the Time Tinker and the Tracker are definitely, in my opinion, some of the coolest classes that I've seen so far. Their hero powers are quite interesting, especially the Tracker, right? So you can keep digging for interesting spells that have been played in a previous game. It can make for some really crazy combinations with Jade Golem, for instance. And then the Time Tinker is super RNG heavy, but because you constantly give yourself another chance, I think it's very fun as well. And at this point, basically, I have finished all 4 classes. I beat the solo dungeon with the classes. It took a little bit of effort, to be honest. It was not always that easy. A focus on the hero power itself does make you very strong. Basically, you need to find the right treasures, and then you can really give yourself a good shot at finishing the dungeon, almost regardless of the cards that you actually get there. That hero power is really paramount to be able to beat the dungeons. And so all that's remaining now is the final challenge. Haven't started that yet. I'm still taking my time. I'm probably going to try to record my first attempt just to get a good feeling of what all of that is about. But yeah, the solo dungeons in Hearthstone is also something that I've managed to put a little bit of time in. It's a lot of fun for me. It's super RNG heavy, but because you're not playing against a player, you're basically trying to beat the dungeons created by a Blizzard. I enjoy that quite a lot, and I think that the replayability is definitely amazing, because once again, with the Tracker, I want to try maybe some other combos than the Jade combo, which is what I used to beat the dungeon with. And for the Time Tinker, I think you can make some really cool stuff there as well. And so yeah, Hearthstone is definitely something that I'm still playing a little bit as well, although I'm not playing against players. I'm not focusing on gathering the cards. I am just enjoying that solo dungeon at the moment. And that's really all I did last week. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you all next time. Kill you. We can put you and you on the board. Yeah, we'll do that. Just to not... Oh, no. God damn it. Should have killed one. I'm an idiot. I am such an idiot. I can't believe it. I should have just straight up killed one. Because then I could have got... I'd be at 1 HP. God damn it.